Well, good morning from the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mark Bayeski YouTube channel. The sun is shining ever so beautiful this morning, and I was up early this morning. Little Daisy went into the light yesterday around about 5 o'clock. She progressively got worse through the day. She had a couple of injections, and I think the reaction to the injections started off some sort of, I don't know, reaction in her body. She wasn't intaking the apricot kernels very well, and then she started being sick, and then she got a terrible stuff coming out of her nose and out of her bum, and she was stood up shaking, and she was kind of like all over the place, and then she started throwing up more, and I thought, you know, this is the start, this is it now. You know, we were waiting for Susie to come back to give her a cuddle, and it was so difficult. I just knew, and Daisy knew, she just knew that she was so confused. She all the things that were happening in her body because of the cancer. So I thought, you know what, I wrapped her up in a blanket, I walked to the vets, and they knew, they knew. So she were administered, first of all, I asked rather than just put her straight to sleep, to, you know, well, I don't even like to use the word lethal injection, because, you know, at the end of the day, it does hurt, doesn't it, when you even think like that, you know. So I said, can you just give her an injection so she can sort of kind of fall asleep rather than just the injection. So he was really kind. He gave her an injection, and I held her for 15 minutes, and we stroked each other. I stroked her, and she was looking at me, and you know, it was different with Dennis. When I got back to Dennis, he wasn't good at all, and my neighbour was looking after him because I was working away, and she didn't say anything, but when I got back she said, Mark, he's in a terrible state. And again, Susie couldn't get back in time, so we did the FaceTime, and Susie cried and said I love you, and said all that she needed to say. And that was different. Dennis was in a different world when I took him to the vets. He wasn't really with himself, he was besides by pain and suffering. But Daisy was different. Daisy just kind of told me, she just knew. It was like, it's okay, Dad, I am ready to go. You know, I just felt that she knew, and she was ready to go and see her son. So it was very, very easy for me this time, in a sense of not feeling guilt, not seeing pain and suffering. It was more of a case that, you know, rather than her go through that pain and suffering and me saying, okay, now I have to do it, I felt that the beginning of the pain and suffering was enough. And 16 years is a good age for her, you know, in terms of a doggy. It's over 100, I believe. I don't know how many years, is it 7 or 8? I'm not sure, but she had a good life. And you know, when she was falling asleep, I could feel a calm coming over her. I could feel peace, and I think at that moment we were both at peace. So I think if, you know, if anything, I can look back now and say, you know, it was the right thing. It felt the right moment. And I went for a walk this morning because I woke up and looked for her. I got this now. This is how it is. This is the rabbit mentality of mankind. We do the same things day in, day out a lot of the times. And I quickly went up and looked for the lead, and I quickly realised she's not here. 16 years is a long time to do the same thing, and then for me to all of a sudden forget. So I realised, wow, she's not here anymore. And I went for a walk, and as I walked, all of a sudden I stopped, and I looked up and looked around, and I just got this overwhelming sense of peace. And I could feel her speaking to me, saying, it's okay, Dad, it's all right, I'm at peace. And of course I cried like I am going to do now, but it was lovely. People don't realise, who don't have animals, that They're not just animals, they're part of our life, and they mean so much to us. Looking back 16 years ago, a couple of years after, Daisy used to get in the van with me, because I used to have a white van because I was an auctioneer and I used to go looking at furniture and stuff. And as we drove, Daisy would sit in the front seat. She refused to go in the back, and she sat in the front seat. And I noticed how quickly she became an expert at driving. And what I mean is that as I turned the corner, she'd look and then she'd bend one paw and lean over. And sometimes I used to do it just to see how good she was. And sometimes she'd fall and think, oh, that's not nice. But she got so good at it that she'd never fall. It's the little things that you remember, the little things that stay in our hearts, that at this moment now, I know that now she's gone, life will never get any better. It just changes, life changes. And the more we remember the good things, the more we remember the good times, the more we always smile at the memory of our loved ones, the more we feel their energy around us. You see, it's the sadness of the loss that separates us or blocks us along a journey. So I believe that the most important thing to do whenever we say goodbye to somebody who's gone home is to always recall the good moments. And of course we're going to cry, of course we're going to feel pain. We're not physically ever going to hold them and kiss them and maybe get angry with them because they've pooed in a corner. But for 16 years I've woken up and I've taken little Daisy out. We've gone for our walks. She's taken me for walks in the afternoon and at night. And for all the sacrifices that one would think that you take as somebody who owns an animal, a pet, a loved one, it isn't a sacrifice. Hi guys, it's lovely having a meal with you, but I've got to get back because Daisy needs a walk. I can't really go on holiday too long because I need to get back for Daisy. You can't really plan too much because of Daisy, because like Daisy and Dennis, I often say our little doggies are children that never grow up. So we always have to look after them. They are there for life and they're there after their life because they live on as a memory. If you ever go through a painful moment that you have to say goodbye to your beautiful little family pet, then remember these words today. They never leave us, they're always with us. And just like this morning when I stopped and felt her, I knew she was at peace, and now I know I can move forward and always, always remember her. Just like Susie and China, they will always hold on to Daisy's love and Dennis's love with all their heart. That, my dear friends, is what we call life. That is why we're here, to love, and for our animal kingdom to teach us how to love. For the only way we can measure humanity as a spirit that grows is how we treat animals. Have a lovely day, guys. I dedicate this video to Daisy. 2001, we got her. She was a Leo the lion, and she certainly was stubborn. You couldn't pull her back. She was always the one to pull you. So yeah, she had characters as a Leo, and she passed yesterday at 5 o'clock. And I think it's the best 16 years of my life. And she'll live on forevermore. Thank you, Daisy, and everybody who owns a beautiful family pet, or a family member I call them. Treasure them for the rest of your life, and if they have to go into the spirit world at any time, always remember the amazing years that you shared with them, for they are the lucky ones to have you in their life. To spend one day with you is sometimes a lifetime with somebody who abuses them. So remember that. You are an amazing, wonderful soul who loves animals. Have a great day, guys. And thank you for subscribing to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Grab this. Do you like my top? That was gifted to me by somebody dear in my heart. Have a great day, guys.